There was a big snowstorm last night, so they closed the schools. Woohoo! I'm going back to sleep. Who used their time away from school productively? I did. Really? What did you do? I prayed for more snow. Here's the dark theory about Mr. Krabs. Since he's the only crab in Bikini Bottom, fans believe that he killed the rest of them to make Krabby Patties. In this episode, when Plankton and Mr. Krabs were fighting over the Krabby Patty secret formula, he accidentally ripped off the part that said crab meat is the secret ingredient. In an episode where Mr. Krabs takes a bite out of a Krabby Patty, he said, "Oh, so that's what I taste like." This is why Mr. Krabs was scared when the food inspector came. And they also believe this is why the Krusty Krab is shaped as a crab trap. Hey mom, since it's Friday, can you get pizza before you come home? Yeah, I guess. Oh, and can I go to my friend's house later? That's fine with me, just ask your father. Can you ask him? Fine. Hey dad, can I ask you a question? What? Where's mom? 5 reasons why people think the first moon landing was fake. If Neil Armstrong was the first person on the moon, then who took the picture? Here's a picture of Neil Armstrong's boots on display, and here's a picture of his footprint on the moon. They also wonder how the flag is up if there's no wind on the moon. They think the picture was taken in a studio because there's no stars in the sky. And because he's in a shadow but he's all lit up, people think they used a studio light to take the picture. Is this Emily? I have a boyfriend. I found your purse at Starbucks and it had your number on it, so I thought I'd let you know. Oh my goodness, where can I meet you to pick it up? I have a girlfriend. Here's the dark theory about Bikini Bottom. The Reddit user Capmaster pointed out that Bikini Bottom is named like that because it's directly under Bikini Atoll, which is where they did nuclear testing from 1946 to 1958. And because of this, the creatures that were living in that area have mutated and that's why they can talk. Another Reddit user said that chipmunks were among the animals kept on the Navy ship during these tests. And that's why Sandy wears a full protection suit and turns into a strong creature during hibernation. Why is there a 2-year gap on your resume? Oh, I was in jail. Really? For what? For killing the last interviewer who said he'd call me back. Congratulations, you're hired. Here's 5 world records you didn't know existed. The most toothpicks in a beard. It took Joel 3 hours and 13 minutes to put 3,500 toothpicks in his beard. The longest hair on a teenager, which is 5 feet and 7 inches. The longest hula hoop spun, which is just over 17 feet in diameter. The tallest hat, which is 15 feet and 9 inches. And finally, the largest table tennis bat, which is over 11 feet tall and 6 feet long. Hello. Would you like to make a donation for the swimming pool that the town's building? Yeah, of course. Just 1 second. Here you go. Here's the dark theory about Timmy Turner. In the show, when kids turn 13, they lose their fairy godparents. So fans believe right before he turned 13, he wished to be a ghost, which turned his whole world into the show Danny Phantom. This is why Timmy looks like Danny, Chester looks like Dash, AJ looks like Tucker, and Trixie looks like Paulina.
Well, Mrs. Talbot, I'm wondering if Ben's awake. Not yet, he's still sleeping. Oh, I was wondering if you wanted to come to my house today. Good morning, Mommy. Who are you talking to? Your friend Luke's wondering if you want to go to his house. Can I? If you want to, say yes. He just woke up and he said yes.
Here's the 3 most dangerous kid toys. In the 1990s, Rollerblade Barbie was released. Each rollerblade used the same wheel mechanism they use in cigarette lighters. So when the Barbie was rolled, it would shoot out sparks. In 1996, the Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kid was released. It ate plastic foods that came with it and exited through a hole in the backpack. But the toy couldn't tell whether it was plastic, your finger, or your hair. And one girl's hair was ripped down to her scalp. Finally, in the 1990s, Nickelodeon released Moon Shoes, which you would strap onto your feet and the springs would help you jump higher. However, they weren't very safe and lots of people sprained and broke their ankles. Mom, where's my laptop? It's on the table. It's not here. Check again. Here's how fans found Marshmallow's real identity. In this picture on Instagram, you can see a red tattoo through the hole in his jeans. The DJ Chris Comstock also has a red tattoo on his leg. During this interview with Skrillex, someone named Chris phoned him and he said it was Marshmallow.
And, is that right now?
Chris.
Oh, Marshmallow.
Finally, the DJ Feed Me posted a picture of him wearing Marshmallow's mask on his Instagram story. And if you look in the mirror, you could see Chris Comstock taking a picture with the rest of the outfit. It was later deleted, but fans noticed this and took screenshots. Hey, do you think I'm ugly? What? No, why would you say that? Wait, what did I say? Do you think I'm ugly? Yes, I think you're ugly. times The Simpsons predicted the future. In a 2012 episode, Lady Gaga performed for the town hanging in midair. 5 years later, she flew off the Houston Energy Stadium roof in real life to perform for the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2008, they showed Homer trying to vote for Barack Obama in the election, but the machine kept changing his vote. 4 years later, a voting machine in Pennsylvania was removed because it kept changing people's votes from Barack Obama to his rival Mitt Romney. Before I tell you the craziest one about Apple, I found this app that gives you a bunch of new fonts. Just press this button on my profile if you want to get it. Finally, in 1994, a school bully wrote "Beat Up Martin" on his Apple Newton, which was a product before the iPhone was made, but it got translated to "Eat Up Martha." A few years later, when making the iPhone keyboard, they added the autocorrect feature, and said it was inspired by this episode of The Simpsons. I started eating turtles the other day. Seriously? Yeah. Why? The doctor told me I shouldn't eat fast food. In a million coincidences, these two trucks lined up and said Taylor Swift. This guy took off the mask and looks more like Mario than Mario does himself. The mountains on the truck lined up perfectly with the mountains in real life. These two ladies were dressed up almost the exact same, and they're doing the same thing. This news reporter looks the exact same as the robber that's on the loose. I got married. Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. She's ugly. Oh, that's bad. No, that's good. She's rich. Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. She won't give me money. Oh, that's bad. No, that's good. She bought me a big house. Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. The house burnt down. Oh, that's bad. No, that's good. She was in it. Here's the 3 most dangerous kid toys. The kite tube was made to be pulled behind a boat and then raised up into the air. But when people would get up into the air, they would have no control. And although it looks fun, 3 adults were killed from falling off. This floaty was made for babies to sit in. However, it was cheaply made and ripped easily, causing babies to fall into the water. The company was fined $650 for knowing about this problem for 6 years. Slip and slides may not seem dangerous, however, they're only meant for kids. In 1993, there was a warning issued for teens and adults using slip and slides. The slides aren't long enough for their size and weight, so people were getting hurt from the sudden stop. At the time of the warning, 1 teenager and 7 adults had become paralyzed from neck injuries.
I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get overwhelmed so easily. I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get overwhelmed.
Photos you're not supposed to see. Here's what the Teletubbies look like without their heads. Here's where the picture on the Cliff Bar was taken. Here's what a magic 8-ball really looks like. Here's what a ramen noodle cup looks like on the inside. And here's how pineapples are grown. Boss, I'm gonna need a raise, otherwise there's 3 companies calling me every day. What? Which companies? Water, electrical, and the bank. Reason there's UFO sightings in Area 51. In the 1950s, US planes were doing low-flying recon missions over Russia. They did these missions to obtain more information because they were enemies, but they were constantly worried about being spotted and shot down. So in 1954, the president authorized the development of a high-flying top-secret aircraft. They needed a location that wasn't easily accessed by the public, so they chose Area 51. In 1955, there were spottings of UFOs in that area, and this is because they were testing the new aircraft that they built. It could fly higher than 60,000 feet in the air, and at the time, normal aircrafts could only fly 10,000 to 20,000 feet in the air. So when pilots would spot this top secret aircraft above them, they would think it's a UFO. 5 times actors weren't acting. In this scene of Stranger Things, when Eleven was fighting possessed Billy, she was so exhausted from filming that she broke character and fell back into Michael's arms. You can even see him look at the producers because he wasn't expecting it. In this episode of Riverdale, when Archie rescued Cheryl from the lake, even though he was punching a mat on the ice, he actually broke his hand from hitting so hard. In the movie Bird Box, the actor Sandra Bullock was blindfolded the whole time, and she actually couldn't see. So in scenes when she was stumbling around, it was actually real and not acting. In the movie Maleficent, they couldn't find any kids that weren't scared of her, so they ended up using her own child. Her daughter wasn't acting, she was just trying to get her mom's attention. In this episode of Friends, David Schwimmer pranked Jennifer Aniston by pretending to fall down the stairs. She didn't know this was happening, so she actually got scared. Dark truth about iCarly. In the show Drake and Josh, Jerry Traynor played the character named Crazy Steve, who had anger issues, and Miranda Cosgrove played a girl named Megan. As soon as the show ended, iCarly came out. Fans believed that Crazy Steve murdered Drake, Josh, and their family, then kidnapped Megan and brought her to Seattle, where he made her change her name to Carly and pretend he was her brother Spencer. So no one would be suspicious, Spencer made up a fake story that their father was in the US Navy and their mother passed away. Carly then started a web show hoping someone would find out and rescue her. I just moved into the apartment next door and I was wondering, how many rolls of wallpaper did you buy when you moved in? I bought 18 rolls. It's kind of funny, I put the wallpaper up everywhere and I still had 10 rolls left over. So did I. 3 places you're not allowed to visit. In Atlanta, Georgia, they made this vault to hide the recipe for Coca-Cola. And legend has it that only 2 or 3 employees actually know the ingredients. The people who live on North Sentinel Island are known for firing flaming arrows and throwing rocks at tourists. So the government decided it's off limits. This vault in Norway holds thousands of seeds for every plant on Earth, which could restore the Earth if there is ever a disaster that wiped out all of our natural resources. To who do you owe your success as a millionaire? And what were you before she came into your life? I owe everything to my girlfriend. A billionaire. Strangest last meal requests on death row. In 1963, Victor Harry Fager was sentenced to death for a kidnap and murder. For his final meal, he requested a single olive with the seed left in it. After his execution, the seed was found in his pocket. They believe he wanted to be buried with it so a tree would sprout on top of him. Gerald Lee Mitchell requested an assorted bag of Jolly Ranchers and he ate every single one. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this app that boosts your Snap score and makes your Snapchat look like this. If you want to try it, just press the button on my profile. In 1990, James Edward Smith requested a lump of soil. But because dirt isn't on the list of permitted food, he was served a cup of yogurt instead. It says on the menu that you sell fat-free fries, is that true? Yep, 100%. Really? Well then I'll get a large. Okay, it'll only be a minute. Wait a minute, why are the potatoes dripping with oil? I thought you said it was fat-free. It is, you only have to pay for the potatoes. 3 most terrifying places to swim. This pool in China has machinery made to create waves, but in 2019 it malfunctioned and made a bigger wave than the pool was designed for. It sent people flying in the air and landing on tiles. 44 people were injured, but there's luckily no deaths. This place in Hawaii called the Pool of Death is a place to swim made out of volcanic rocks. The water is clear and the perfect temperature for swimming, but at any time waves from the ocean can throw people against the rocks and pull them underwater, which has caused many deaths. This popular tourist spot called Devil's Pool is the deadliest place to swim on Earth. Against the waterfall's edge, it's surrounded by rocks, making it the perfect place to swim and take pictures. But one wrong move and you'll fall to your death. No, I should get it because I always get 100%. But I've never skipped a day of class. What are you two arguing about? We found this $20 bill and decided to give it to whoever could tell the biggest lie. You should be ashamed of yourself. When I was your age, I didn't even know what a lie was. You win. Normal looking photos with disturbing backstories. This looks like a normal picture at first, but if you look on the left, you could see a hand around the girl that doesn't belong to any one of them. People believe this is the hand of a ghost because the picture was taken near a haunted house. This picture was taken in 1998, a few minutes before the red vehicle on the right had a bomb explode inside of it. Luckily, the father and son survived, but the person taking the picture didn't. In 1975, these two brothers took a picture because their hair was sticking up. A few seconds later, lightning struck and another hiker died. The boys survived, but one of them got third-degree burns and later took his life.
Overwhelmed so easily, my anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe, words come over me. I get overwhelmed so easily, my anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe, words come over me, feels like I'm so
3 celebrities who gave up fame to work normal jobs. Dylan and Cole Sprouse starred in the show The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. While Cole continued his acting career by going on the show Riverdale, Dylan stopped to open up his own brewery. Peter Ostrom played Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka, but after that he refused a 3-movie deal. As he got older, he became a veterinarian and specializes in farm animals. Hayden Christensen was known for playing Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. But in 2007, he moved to Canada and bought a farm. With his passion for design, he also started his own clothing company in 2013. Why is there a 4-year gap on your resume? Oh, that's when I was in Yale. Oh wow, that's impressive. You're hired. Thank you so much. I really needed this job. Biggest coincidences in the world. Shortly before their wedding, Nick and Amy decided to go through Nick's baby photos. In this picture of him playing at the beach during a vacation, Amy noticed herself in the background 11 years before they met. A reporter was asking people on the street in the UK if they remembered the final round of the 1967 FA Cup soccer game. The person he chose to interview turned out to be the goalie who played in the game, and look how happy he was.
Do you remember it?
I do, I played in it.
Did you?
I was goalkeeper for Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a stroke of luck, me meeting
nice.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, can you remind me of your name, please?
Tommy Lawrence.
The guys in these pictures look the exact same, but they're not even related. The first picture is Enzo Ferrari, who was a race car driver and the founder of the car brand Ferrari. The other guy is a soccer player named Mesu. But the scariest part is that Enzo died in 1988, which is the same year that Mesu was born. I like your t-shirt. Oh, thanks. Crazy laws that only exist in North Korea. In 2013, North Korea's leader made a law that there would only be 28 hairstyles allowed. 18 for the woman and 10 for the men. But the most unfair part is that the leader's haircut isn't even on the list. You can't watch your favorite shows on TV. They have 3 channels to choose from that are controlled by the government. The only people who are allowed to own cars are state officials. It's estimated that 1 to 10 in 1,000 people can own one. You can't make an international call. In 2007, a man was shot in a stadium because he made a call outside of North Korea. If you live in North Korea, you're forced to stay there for the rest of your life. Finally, if you thought the last one was crazy, you're not allowed to have your own opinions that go against the leader's rules. You'll be sent away to an educational camp where they'll threaten and torture you until you learn to not have your own opinion. I bought this lie detector, so if you lie, it'll beep. Okay? So, you were at school today, right? Yeah. Okay, I was at the movies. Alright, I went for a beer with my friends. What? When I was your age, I never would have touched alcohol. He really is your son. Coolest houses in the world. The safe house is the only home in the world designed for a zombie apocalypse. When you flip the switch, the mechanical concrete walls and steel doors shut, making it impossible to get in. It even has a drawbridge to get to the pool so you don't have to go downstairs. This house has 3 floors with built-in slides. One side of the house has stairs to get to each floor, but on the other side there's a slide that you could ride all the way down to the first floor. The house also has a built-in ball pit. Finally, there's 130 of these floating houses being built in Dubai. The bedroom is on the lowest floor, making it fully underwater. There's huge windows that overlook the coral reef. And on the top floor, there's a bar and hot tub. Luke! Yeah? Yeah? Oh, so you've been on your phone the whole time, huh? What? No. Hey, I'd like you to do the dishes. And a million coincidences. This bird landed on the page about itself. This guy's t-shirt, race number, and finishing time were all the same number. A dog gave birth to these 3 puppies, each with their own corresponding number on their back. These 2 strangers sat next to each other at a bar and spelled Cookie Monster. And this person managed to take a picture at the exact same time as the balloon was popping. Our principal's an idiot. Do you know who I am? No. I'm his daughter. Do you know who I am? No. Good. 3 actors who actually got injured in movies. In Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise had a scene where he jumped from building to building. He slams into the building, then pulls himself up in pain and slowly limps away. This is because when he hit the building, he actually broke his ankle. In The Exorcist, there's a scene where the possessed girl slaps her mom across the room, causing her to yell. To film this scene, there were people who pulled the actor onto her back using wires. But they pulled too hard and left her with lifelong back pain. Finally, in a scene for the movie Apocalypse Now, the actor had to pretend like he was drunk. But he thought it would be more realistic if he was actually drunk, so that's what they did. And because he wasn't thinking right, he punched a mirror, causing it to break and cut his hand. But he kept going and they used it in the final cut. You wanna go out for supper tonight? Yeah, sure. Okay, be ready in an hour. Are you ready? No, not yet. Secret Service tactics that are insane. The president's main way of transportation is called the Beast. It's a Cadillac limousine with over 7 tons of armor which is 8 inches thick. It can defend against gunfire and explosives. But it never travels alone. In the line of vehicles, there's a black van that holds the counter-assault team. And in total, there's 12 vehicles that each cost over $1 million. When chefs are cooking food for the president, every single one of their movements is monitored by an agent to make sure they're not poisoning the food. When the president travels, chefs go with him to personally prepare his food. He doesn't eat any food that's gifted to him, and when he buys food at a restaurant, he doesn't actually eat it. It's usually just for a photo. The president gets lots of online threats, and even if it's just a joke, they investigate every single aspect of that person's life. Their neighbors, friends, and employees can all be interviewed. They do this to see how serious the threat is, then decide if they need to take action on the person or not. You were today's years old when you found this out. Owls' legs are longer than you thought. When someone tells you to break a leg in an audition, it's because they want you to end up in the cast. When the first episode of a show is called pilot, it's because it's the first time they're on air. The L in the store Staples is a half-open staple. Flames don't have shadows. The blue side of the eraser is meant to clean up smudges made by the pink side. What happened to you? My pirate ship was under attack and they got a lucky shot on my leg, so now I have this wooden peg. What about your hand? When my ship sank, a shark bit off my hand, so now I have this hook. Oh, and why do you have an eye patch? I was standing on a dock and a seagull pooped in my eye. But you don't go blind from seagull poop. True, but it was my first day with the hook. You ask. No, why can't you ask? Just ask. No, you ask. Fine. Hey, my friend wants to ask you something. Can you give me back my controller tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Okay, but don't forget. I won't forget. So, did you bring it? Bring what? Oh! This is my favorite part of the movie. Spider-Man's about to die. Seriously? Here's what movies look like without special effects. The Mandalorian was filmed in a studio with one big screen. Here's how Spider-Man flies in the sky. Here's what Thanos actually looked like before special effects. Most racing scenes aren't actually filmed in the streets, but in a studio. Although Jumanji was filmed in a desert, some scenes had to be filmed in a studio. The actors who play the monkeys in Planet of the Apes actually look pretty funny. And here's what I look like without special effects. Can I ask one question? But you just did. Fine, can I ask 2 questions? You already did. Okay, can I ask 4 questions? You just did, again. When? Now. 3 candies that can kill you. With chewing gum, you could blow bubbles, use it for focus, or just chew it for flavor. One guy found out that dipping it in citric acid prolongs the taste. But one night he dipped it in the wrong bowl. The bowl contained an unknown chemical that was possibly explosive. All it took was one chew and the gum exploded in his mouth. Unfortunately, the 25-year-old died from his injuries. Fun Dip are little sticks that you lick sugar off of. But for some kids that wasn't enough. They decided to inhale the sugar through their nostrils. When it's inhaled, it goes in your lungs and makes your nose bleed. And all sorts of risks can occur. Kinder Surprises were really popular. You get a tasty chocolate egg with a fun toy inside. But they were banned in America due to a law that states you can't have non-edible objects in any type of food. Some kids would think the toy inside is another candy, which caused a 3-year-old to pass away from choking on a Kinder Surprise toy. Did you get home safe? No, I died a few times. Would you like a bag today? No thanks, I'll just carry the 20 items on my head. Mom, I'm going out. With your friends? No, Mom, with Dora the Explorer. Who's Dora? Is she your girlfriend? Pictures you're not supposed to see. Here's what an owl looks like without any feathers. This is what tiger skin looks like. Here's a human heart without any blood. This is what the bottom of a fire hydrant looks like. Here's the inside of a turtle's mouth. Here's the inside of a bowling ball. And here's the inside of a dice. Are these plates clean? They're as clean as cold water can get them. Just eat your meal. Are you sure these plates are clean? I told you before, those dishes are as clean as cold water can get them. Grandpa, your dog keeps growling at me. Cold water, come here. Movie mistakes had made the final cut. In Star Wars Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks are bowing down to see 3PO. In one clip they show a close-up of an Ewok's face, and if you look closely you could see a missing eye. If you look through the hole you could see the actor's face. During Rey and BB-8's first encounter, she noticed his antenna was bent and decided to help him out. When she took out the antenna to fix it, the top of BB-8 is a metallic grey color. But when she goes to put the antenna back on, his head changes to white. Now before I tell you the craziest one about the Black Panther, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike, and apparently I look like Marilyn Monroe. If you want to find out who you look like, just press the button on my profile. In the Black Panther, Shuri designed him an upgraded suit with a special pair of shoes called sneakers. They had this name because they absorbed sound so he could walk around quietly. It allowed the Black Panther to sneak behind his enemies without them hearing him. But later in the movie when he runs and jumps, the sound editors forgot to leave out the footsteps. Would you like a table today? No, I'm gonna eat on the floor. Are you buying all these items today? No, I'm stealing them. I just wanted to show you first. Are you doing your homework? No, I'm writing a letter to SpongeBob. Photos you're not supposed to see. Did you know big lighters are just made out of small lighters? This is what a bathroom without any stalls looks like. This is what paint looks like before you stir it. Here's what the inside of a pool table looks like. And here's what the inside of a gas pump looks like. Luke, where's your homework? I'm really sorry, I don't have it here. How come? I ate my worksheets. What? Why would you do such a thing? Because my dog refused to. What prisoner invented Lamborghini? Ferruccio Lamborghini was a farmer, but he was more interested in the machinery like tractors. In 1940, he was drafted into the Italian Royal Air Force where he served as a mechanic. He was later taken as a prisoner by the British at the end of war in 1945. He worked as their mechanic and they let him go after a year. After the war, in his spare time, he started making tractors and named them Lamborghinis. It ended up being one of the largest manufacturers of its kind in Italy. With his success, he started collecting cars. He was disappointed with his Ferrari 250 GT because the clutch kept breaking. When he brought it to a mechanic, he found out that the car used the same clutch he uses in some of his tractors. He was mad because he pays 10 euros for a tractor's clutch and 1,000 euros for the car's clutch. He decided to tell the founder Enzo Ferrari about the problems. But he said the problem wasn't with the car, it was with him because he's a farmer and a tractor driver, not a car manufacturer. After that, Ferruccio was determined, so he hired 3 ex-employees from Ferrari. And 9 months later, his first sports car came out, which was the Lamborghini 350 GT. It proved to everyone that he wasn't just a tractor manufacturer. His employees started working on a secret project car called the Miura P400, which Ferruccio didn't know about. When he found out about it, he decided not to scrap the idea, which ended up being one of his best decisions ever. It was the world's first sports car to be made with a rear mid-engine, and the rear mid-engine became standard on all high-performance cars. Hey, do you want to go to the movie theater with me? To watch a movie? No, to count how many seats there are. Oh hey, are you shopping for groceries too? No, I'm hunting unicorns. Ooh, did you hurt yourself? No, do you want me to do it again? This is what actually happens during sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is when you feel like you're awake, meaning you could see and hear, but your body's still asleep and unable to move. During this, you may be unable to move or speak for a couple seconds or even a few minutes. Some people also feel pressure on their chest, as if someone was sitting or standing on it. You might even be afraid because of a nightmare that you were having. This usually happens when you're first falling asleep or your body's getting ready to wake up. Answers to 3 questions about planes you've always wanted to ask. Why don't they have the same seatbelts as cars? For shoulder straps to work, it has to be attached to something sturdy like a car frame. And airplane walls aren't equipped for that. If they were, it would make the plane heavier, making it burn more fuel. Plane seatbelts have lift lever buckles, making it stronger, and so you can't accidentally open it. Why do planes have red and green lights on their wings? The red light is always on the left wing and the green light is always on the right wing. This way other pilots and traffic control can tell which way the plane is flying. The 2 different colors also make it less likely for the plane to be confused with something like a drone. Why are the windows round? Rounded corners help distribute stress, reducing the chance of it breaking. Square windows are dangerous because the sharp angles are easy to crack because of air pressure. Hey ladies, how's it going? Ooh, I like your car. Can I see the inside? Yeah, go ahead. You don't even have Govee LED car lights? What? Do you know what Govee LED car lights are? Of course, everyone's been talking about them. You don't have any? No? Here, I have an extra. Hey ladies, how's it going? Not you again. Wait, are those Govee LED car lights? Yep. Here's my number, call me. Jobs you didn't know existed. Ben Lashes is an internet famous cat manager. He manages famous cats like Grumpy Cat, Keyboard Cat, and Nyan Cat. He takes 20% of their earnings. So for an example, when Grumpy Cat made an estimated $1 million in her first year, he would have made $200,000 for just 1 client. Water slide testers travel from North America to places like Egypt to go to water parks and test their slides. They rate them based on the biggest splash and the adrenaline factor, then post their opinions online. Their yearly salary is $34,000. The China Giant Panda Protection and Research Center posted a job online called the Panda Nanny. You have to spend 365 days a year with a panda, but you get free meals and an SUV on top of the $32,000 salary. The only requirements are that you have to be 22 years or older and have basic knowledge of pandas. Hello? Are you asleep? No! I'm skydiving! Oh my gosh, did you just fall? No, I tapped the ground. Hey, are you sleeping? No, I'm trying to die. This picture probably confuses you, but the buildings are just made out of Lego. This tree looks like a giant broccoli. This dog looks like a bodybuilder. This lady looks like she has really thin legs, but it's just a white stripe on her pants. This dog looks like he has bad teeth, but it's actually just a toy. The angle this photo was taken makes his arm look like a leg. The view out this window is so nice it looks like a painting. It's 2 flowers plus 2 flowers. 4 flowers? Very good. Now it's 2,563 flowers plus 8,922 flowers. A garden? You can only ride this roller coaster once. Ulionis Yearbonis designed this roller coaster called the Euthanasia Coaster. It's capable of holding up to 24 passengers. Once they're all on board, it starts to slowly ascend to the top, which is 510 feet in the air. That's just a little bit smaller than the tallest building in America. Once they're at the top, it gives everyone the decision to stop and go back down safely. After that, everyone has to manually press a button to start the ride. Then it falls at a speed of 223 miles per hour and goes through 7 loops that keep getting smaller. It's designed like this so riders maintain 10 G's of force for a full 60 seconds. Everyone's blood would rush to their feet, leaving no blood left in their brain. This causes them to lose their vision and eventually black out and die. It was designed for people with uncurable diseases who wanted an unpainful death. Oh, are you choking? No, I'm playing golf. Is this everything for you today? No, I got some invisible items too. Are you crying? No, my eyes are sweating. Babe, do you want to go to the restaurant? To eat? No, to work. This is the worst form of torture. White room torture is when a prisoner is locked up in a soundproof room that's completely white. The walls are white, their clothes are white, and all they could eat is white rice on a white plate. If they have to go to the bathroom, they slip a white piece of paper under the door. Then a guard with padded shoes opens another door with a white bathroom. After months or even years in the room, the prisoner would start to have hallucinations. They then start to forget everything, including who they are and what their parents look like. Can you please lower the price tag for the bananas? Yeah, sure. Really? What are you doing? I'm lowering the price tag. Scientists may have found a way to live forever. There are companies that freeze you as soon as you die. This is called cryonics. They remove your blood and replace it with antifreeze so it keeps your cells alive. They then put your body in storage and freeze it at minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. They hope that one day in the future when technology and medicine evolves, they could be brought back to life. Police, there's a bunch of people following me. Don't worry, I'm coming to save you. Where are you? On Instagram. Photos you'll have to look at twice. At first it looks like a girl making a weird face, but she's actually sleeping and that's just a magazine. This lady giving a speech looks like she's floating on a magic carpet, but the shadow is just from a flag. It looks like this boy playing soccer has a ponytail, but it's actually the hair from someone behind him. It looks like this dog is cut in half, but it's actually just laying beside a log. It looks like this girl's kissing a boy with a big head, but the person she's kissing is actually behind him. Mom, I won an iPhone in a race today. Really? Good job. How many people were there? Just me and 2 other people. Oh, not that many. Who are the other 2? I don't really think you want to know. What? Tell me right now. The phone owner and the police. Times Google Maps saved lives. One day Sander Cochler was on his way to work when an ex-employee named John Charles kidnapped him. He said their boss owed him money, so he wanted to use Sander to set up a meeting with him. When John left the room, Sander used Google Maps to send his location to his boss. When his boss got his location, he called the police and drove there immediately. John was then arrested and sentenced to 8 years in prison. When Saru was 5 years old, he got on a runaway train in India which separated him from his family. He had to start a whole new life by himself and he searched for his family for 23 years. Since he was so young at the time, he couldn't remember where they lived. The only thing that he could remember is that his hometown was closed off by 2 bridges. When Google Maps came out, he used it to find the 2 bridges and he found them. He then traveled to his hometown and was reunited with his family. Are you doing the dishes? No! I'm playing with water. I'd like to buy this cat food, please. Do you have a cat? No! I'm gonna eat it myself. Were you born in a hospital? No! I was born on a plane. People who won the food lottery. This person found a mini orange inside of their big orange. This vending machine had an error and distributed everything for the price of 1 item. This person found a green pepper growing inside of a red pepper. This person got a carton full of double yolk eggs. Now before I tell you the craziest one about this bacon, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. This person ordered bacon from Five Guys, but since he was their last customer before closing, they gave him the rest of their bacon for free. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Do you want to come over at like 5 tonight? I work after school till 4:30, so that works out good. Okay, sounds good. animals that saved human lives. One day at 4 in the morning, this parrot started squawking. Not because it was hungry, but because the laundry room was on fire. The loud noises from the parrot woke up its owners, then they ran outside and called the fire department. If it weren't for the parrot, their whole house could have been destroyed, and even worse yet, they could have been hurt badly. One winter night in Russia, someone heard a cat meowing outside their apartment, so they went to go and see it. When they got there, they realized it wasn't the cat making noises, it was actually a baby crying. If it weren't for the cat keeping the baby warm, it might not have survived in the cold. A 5-year-old named Amber Mason and her family traveled to Thailand for a vacation. While they were there, Amber became friends with a 4-year-old elephant. One morning when they were strolling the beach, an unexpected tsunami hit. The elephant rushed to the water to get Amber and pulled her to shore where her mother was waiting. If it weren't for the elephant, she could have drowned. Can I have 2 carrots, please? Here you go. Thanks. Can I have 2 carrots, please? Here you go. Thanks. Can I have 2 carrots, please? Sorry, we don't have any carrots. We only have apples. I'll buy 2 apples then. Here you go. Thanks. Why do you put the apples in your ears? Because you didn't have any carrots. Animals that are bigger than you thought. This is how big horses' lungs are. This is how big a giant leatherback sea turtle is compared to a human. Here's how big a giant African land snail is compared to a hand. Here's how big a blue whale's heart is compared to a human. Here's how big eagle's claws are compared to a hand. And here's how big a saltwater crocodile is.
Ya si quieres dinero, lo siento, no tengo. She take my dinero, take my dinero.
Secrets in everyday items that you didn't know about. Have you ever wondered why doorknobs are made out of brass or some sort of alloy metal? This is because those materials help prevent bacteria from spreading. If you take the lid off your cup and place it underneath, it fits perfectly as a coaster. Have you ever wondered why there's a hole in plane windows? The hole is in the middle pane of the 3 window panes. It takes off pressure from the outer pane so the window doesn't break. Gas pump hoses are attached by magnets, so if you forget to take out the hose, the pump won't go with you. The number on the side of lotion tells you how long the product will last so you don't damage your skin. The different colors on the bottom of toothpaste tubes actually mean something. Blue means it's made with natural resources and medicine. Green means it's only made with natural resources. Red means it's made with natural resources and some chemical compositions. And black means it's made with pure chemicals. You need glasses. How do you know? I haven't even told you what's wrong with me yet. I could tell as soon as you walked in through the window. 3 weirdest restaurants in the world. Cafe Econ is a 3-story restaurant. The first floor is normal, but the second and third floor are filled with ankle-deep water and swimming fish. One floor has smaller fish than the other, so you could choose which one you'd like. Guests have to take off their shoes before entering. In the restaurant called Modern Toilet, the chairs are replaced with toilets and the food is shaped like this. An example of a meal you could order is called a turd sub sandwich. This restaurant is prison themed. Guests are brought to their table by a prison guard. Each table is in a different cell blocked off by big black bars. The prison guards carry fake guns, and there's also fake guns on the walls and ceiling. How much longer? Just 10 more seconds, you got this. What about now? 9 more seconds. What about now? 8 more seconds. How about now? 15 more seconds. What? I'm gonna try to hold my breath for a minute, so start the timer now. How long was I under? 3.2 seconds. Real life glitches caught on camera. A guy pulled out a camera to take a picture of a bird when he seen this helicopter taking off. The helicopter starts flying, but the propellers aren't even moving. A dad was recording his son while he was looking in the mirror. The boy turned around to look at the camera, but his reflection in the mirror didn't follow his actions. In 1995, when Mike Tyson was boxing, there was somebody in the crowd recording on a phone. But the thing is, phones with cameras didn't come out until 5 years after this fight. And finally, these people were having a street race on the highway. As soon as the cars passed, you could see a dog in the middle of the highway. It would have been impossible to miss it, so it had to have teleported. My wife wanted this expensive set of cutlery for the kitchen, so I bought her a bunch of sets. Well, my wife wanted gold jewelry, so I bought her a whole bunch. Oh yeah? Well, I got my wife everything she asked for and more, including gold, silver, and all sorts of precious metals in the world. Liar! There's no way you could afford that. Yeah, we're both richer than you. How is that even possible? Easy. I gave her a periodic table. Come on, load faster. Last night a thief broke into my house and stole my TV. Really? What did you do? I ran after him and told him he forgot the remote. This is the creepiest McDonald's in the world. In 1986, this McDonald's opened for the World Expo in Canada. Because of its location and cool features, it was placed ahead of the competition. It had real plants, wooden floors, and art covering the walls. Instead of you being able to see the kitchen like in regular McDonald's, the creators hid it. And to get the food to customers, they placed it on a conveyor belt. Millions of people from around the world ate there because it was a must-see tourist attraction. At the end of the expo, it was closed and abandoned for years. Now it looks like this. At the mall, she's seen her friend Luke.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and
Photos you're not allowed to see. You're not allowed to go into Area 51, but a pilot named Gabriel Ziefman broke those rules and flew over top. He took this photo in 2020 and it's the best one we have. Cameras have always been banned in the Supreme Court, but in 1932, Eric Solomon snuck in a camera. He pretended to have a broken arm and hid his camera inside the cast. 5 years later, there was another photo taken. A lady cut a hole in her purse and put a small camera in it. Since 1878, the most powerful people in the world meet at this forest in California, where they do lots of ceremonies and rituals. This includes presidents, billionaires, and business people. But a photographer named Gabriel Moulon snuck in and took a picture of them doing a ritual. Dad, how much does it cost to become a doctor? About $100,000, son. How much does it cost to build a house? Almost $300,000. And how much does it cost to get married? I'm not sure. I'm still paying. Facts you didn't know that could save your life. If your house ever smells like fish for no reason, 9 times out of 10 it's because there's an electrical fire. If you're in a foreign country and you need to call for help but you don't know the emergency number, call 112 and it'll automatically connect you to the nearest helpline. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's actually moving towards you. If you ever wake up to the smell of gas, don't turn on a light. A spark from the light switch could blow up your entire house. Lying flat on your back is the best way to survive a falling elevator. If your hair suddenly stands up, duck and cover because you're about to be struck by lightning. If you ever fall off the edge onto the tracks, don't try and crawl back up. There's a crawl space built to go underneath in case this happens. If a deer runs across the road, it's better to hit it than swerve into the ditch. But if it's a moose, then it's better to swerve into the ditch. Because hitting a moose is like hitting a brick wall. Even if you have no service, you can still dial 911. In an emergency, your phone will connect to the nearest tower. If you ever get kidnapped into the back of a vehicle, disconnect the brake light wire so the cops will pull them over, then kick on the door to let them know that you're there. So what are your strengths? I fall in love easily. Okay, and what are your weaknesses? Those blue eyes of yours. 5 people who won the food lottery. This pack usually comes with 12 cookies, but they got 2 extra. This person got 3 pizzas instead of 2. A lemon the size of a watermelon grew on this person's tree. This person got 3 Pop-Tarts in a pack of 2. And this person got an avocado without the seed. Did you draw that? No! It just magically appeared on my paper. Did you just take a shower? No! It was raining in the bathroom. Excuse me, do you work here? No! I'm going to a Halloween party. Funniest ways people got revenge. When Mark's laptop was stolen from him, he hacked into it from his house and found an embarrassing video of the thief dancing in front of the camera. He then uploaded it to YouTube where it went viral and the thief saw it. So he returned the laptop begging for Mark to take the video down, but he didn't. When a girl found out her boyfriend had cheated on her, she asked him to get matching tattoos as a symbol of love, which he agreed to. But she left him without getting hers, leaving him with a tattoo to remind him of her. This guy was just doing his job painting over some graffiti, but I guess the people who painted it weren't too happy with him. They got revenge by painting him on the wall where he had just covered up. Ah, this stupid computer's broken. Luke, can you help me? What's the problem? It says press F5, but it doesn't work. Okay, show me. Press F5. 5 people who won the food lottery. When this person cracked an egg, a smaller one came out of it. This person found that in their pack of Skittles. This person got blueberries the size of a quarter. This person got a Kinder Egg with 2 layers of chocolate. And this person found 5 peanuts in 1 shell. What do you want to do tonight? We should go to the zoo. But babe, I'm not ready to meet your family yet. 5 people who won the food lottery part 4. This person's watermelon had no seeds. This person got multiple strawberries fused to 1. This person got a fry from Arby's shaped as a treble clef. This person got a triple kiwi. And this person found a really long marshmallow. 5 photos you'll have to look at twice. At first it looks like there's a giant pigeon, but it's actually just sitting on a ledge and the person's walking in the distance. At first it looks like there's a human dog, but the dog's actually sitting beside its owner. At first this looks like some weird looking cat, but it's actually just 2 cats laying in the exact same position on each side. At first it looks like this fish has an arm, but the fish just got too close to the camera. And finally, it looks like this person has a small head, but it's just the head from the person in front of them. It's raining outside. No, really? I thought it was a sprinkler. Does your phone have a camera? No, it has 2 buttons on the back in case my shirt doesn't have one. Hello. Hi, do you live here? No, I'm just hiding from the cops. Theme park rides that had to be shut down. On this roller coaster called the Dragon Challenge located at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, there were 2 tracks that at one point were very close together. Several riders got hurt over the years, so they destroyed it and closed it in 2017. The most serious injury on that ride was someone who lost their eye. On the catapult ride in Mount Olympus Water and Theme Park, you went up so fast in such a short amount of time that many people fainted. In 2015, when a child and woman were getting ready to take off, one of the cables snapped, so they closed the ride 2 days later. And finally, Son of the Beast is the world's tallest and fastest wooden roller coaster. It was closed in 2009 because 27 people had to go to the hospital for neck and chest injuries due to a broken beam. It later reopened, but head trauma was reported because of the violent motion from the roller coaster, so it was then shut down for good. Five people who won the food lottery, part 5. This person got a grape with 8 of them fused together. This person opened their banana peel and found 2 of them in there. This person got a really big fry. This person got a really big Lucky Charm. And this person got a strawberry the size of their palm. Where do you live? With my parents. Where do they live? With me. Where do you all live? Together. 5 places you should never swim. The boiling lake in Dominica is so dangerous that the magma underneath the surface makes the water so hot that you would be swimming in boiling water. Lake Karachay is one of the most toxic lakes on earth, due to all the toxic waste that the Russian government introduced when toxic materials weren't as big of a problem. The Nile River is filled with crocodiles everywhere that could kill you, and if you manage to escape the crocodiles, you'll have snakes as a second problem. In the river and outside of it, you could probably find at least 15 venomous species. Jacob's Well is a lake located in Texas where you could dive really deep, but you have to be careful because there's caves below where people can get trapped. And lastly, Hanakape Beach has currents so strong that they even keep count of how many deaths there's been to scare people, and the number of people killed is 80. Why is your brother crying? Oh, he's just sad because he can't watch his favorite shows on Netflix. Does he like SpongeBob? Yeah, that's literally his favorite show. Well, if you switch to Canada's Netflix, he could watch it. Really? Can you show me? All you have to do is press the button on my profile, then press NordVPN and download it. Once you open the app, connect to Canada, and now we can watch any show that's on Canada's Netflix, including SpongeBob. Wow, thank you so much. Jesse, look! 3 bizarre things found in pools. A lady was going down to the pool for a morning aerobics class when she seen a 5-foot crocodile in the pool. She phoned the rangers to come get it, and when they took it out, they noticed it had no markings on it, so it must have been a wild croc. In California, the police were chasing a car, but it was driving so crazy that they had to stop following it for safety reasons. The car was later found in someone's pool, but the driver was nowhere to be seen, so they think he ran away to avoid the charges. And lastly, one morning a family woke up to a hippo in their pool. The water went from crystal clear and clean to dark green and dirty. The father's a safari director, so he's used to seeing animals like that. They said the hippo stayed there for 10 days before it finally left. Here's your present. Is this for me? No! I just wanted to hand it to you so you could hand it back. Is it hot? No! I'm just blowing the dust off. Mom, can I borrow your nail clippers? What for? To slay a dragon. 5 people who won the food lottery, part 6. This person found a potato chip the same size as the bag. This person found a giant chip in their ice cream. This person found an extra large egg. This person's ice cream sandwich came with another half. And this person's pepper had peppers growing inside of it. Stop chasing me! I've almost caught ya! Here, take these! Why did you give me scissors? Because you can't run with scissors. I'm making YouTube videos for a year and I still have 0 subscribers. Well, maybe it's time for an upgrade. What do you mean? Do you have any cool lights in the background of your videos? No? Here, consider this an early birthday present from me. Thank you! My friend got me these Govi wall lights for my birthday, so they're gonna be in the background of the videos from now on, so I hope you guys like them. Thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers. Ever since I was a little kid, I've wanted one of these, so thank you guys so much. We hit 1 million subscribers. Thank you guys so much for making my dreams come true. Thank you for watching my videos, subscribing to me, and letting me be able to do this for a living. It means the world. I told him he just needed an upgrade. Dumbest Things Bought by Billionaires Part 2. When a Hong Kong businessman inherited a 26-carat black diamond, he decided he wanted to keep it with him at all times. He got a craftsman to make him a custom iPhone 5 with the diamond mounted on the home button. The back of the phone is covered in 24-carat gold, the sides are layered with 653 white diamonds, and the screen is sapphire glass made with real sapphires, bringing the total cost of the phone to $15 million. You admit that you broke into the same shop 3 times? Yes. Could you please tell the court what you stole? I stole a dress, Your Honor. Just one dress? But you admitted to breaking in 3 times. Yes, I did, Your Honor, but 2 of those times was to return the dress that I had took. Why? I don't understand. Here's how to tell if your phone is being hacked. Your battery starts to drain quickly. This can happen when there's an unknown app running in the background of your phone. Your phone gets warm. When you're not doing anything on your phone and this happens, that could be another sign that there's something running in the background. Your phone reboots itself, turn off, open apps, and dials phone numbers. Unless your phone's really old, this can mean that somebody's tapping into it. You can't turn off your phone. Instead, your phone starts opening apps, turning up the brightness, volume, and so on. And finally, when you hear echoes during calls and locations that it hasn't happened to you in before.
Can I get a new phone? 1 year later. 2 years later.
I'm on a sugar crash, I ain't gonna.
Secret messages hidden in popular logos. Hyundai. Lots of people think the logo is just the first letter of the company, but it also symbolizes a client and a representative of the company shaking hands. Adidas. The logo has 3 stripes that form a triangle. This symbolizes a mountain, which represents the challenges all athletes have to overcome day after day. Toyota. The logo is actually a needle with a thread passing through it to represent their past, because they used to make weaving machines. However, the individual parts of the logo also spell out the company's name. Why are you praying in my class? My mom told me I should pray before sleeping. Here's the only way to survive a crocodile attack. Crocodiles have the strongest jaws on the planet and they kill around 1,000 people every year. If you see a crocodile while you're in the water, you need to stay calm and slowly swim away. If it's still chasing you when you get out of the water, you need to scream and run in zigzags. This will confuse the crocodile and it will eventually leave you alone. Now before I tell you what to do if it already has you in its jaw, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. If you want to try it too, just press this button on my profile. Now if it already has you in its jaw, you need to punch the eyes. This will stun the crocodile and it'll let you go. Give me all your money, otherwise you'll be chemistry. Don't you mean history? Don't change the subject. Here's the only way to survive if you're buried alive. First, you need to stay calm and slow down your breathing to preserve oxygen. Then lift your shirt up and tie it in a knot to protect yourself from dirt. Now with something hard like a belt buckle, a ring, or a rock, you need to break the coffin. Now use your hands to push the dirt to your feet so you can sit up, then climb out. How long is the flight from London to New York? Just a minute. Thank you. She said a minute. What? Bad habits that are actually good for you. Sleeping in. Waking up when your body tells you to wake up rather than your alarm keeps your metabolism up, which means you could eat more food without gaining weight. And people who undersleep are more likely to eat larger portions of junk food. Complaining. Always looking at the bright side of life won't necessarily make you a happier person, but being realistic about the good and bad parts of your life has shown to be better for your mental health. Being messy. People who are messy tend to be more creative and they found to be 36% more efficient than people who are neat. Dust mites have a hard time living in messy conditions like an unmade bed, so it can also be a good thing for people with allergies.
How I act when my parents are sleeping. How my parents act when I'm sleeping.
eggs you didn't notice in Frozen 2. In this scene, Elsa was playing with toys made out of snow. The one she's holding in her hand isn't just any elephant. It's actually Dumbo. And then right here on the ground is Baymax from Big Hero 6. And next to it is the super dog from the movie Bolt. And lastly, next to Anna is the Princess Snow White. Hey dear, there's a... Stop it. One shall not speak while we're eating. If you say so. Now tell me, what were you saying? Nothing. There's just a cockroach in your burger. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. In Baskin-Robbins, the B and the R also have the number 31 to represent how many flavors they have. In the Tour de France logo, the O, U, and the R are shaped as someone riding a bike. The bottom of the Levi's logo is the same shape as the pockets on their jeans. The coat of arms of Bern, which is where Toblerone chocolate is made, has a bear on it. And so does the logo. The tire company Continental has the C and the O shaped as a tire. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. The reason the Apple logo has a bite in it is so people wouldn't mistake it as a cherry. Hey, what are you doing right now? Phoning the most beautiful girl in the world. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, but she's not answering, so I'm phoning you. 5 things the Queen has never been able to do. The Queen isn't allowed to grow long nails. She also has to keep her hair neat, and if she wants to wear makeup, it must look natural. The Queen isn't allowed in public without a bodyguard. Each member of the family has up to 5 highly trained armed officers while they're out in public. The Queen can't choose who she wants to speak with at formal dinners. The rule is she must begin speaking with the person on her right, then switch to the person on her left. The Queen has never been allowed to sign her autograph. The whole royal family has been banned from signing autographs for fans in case their signature gets forged later on. And finally, one of the most strict rules is how she's allowed to sit. In particular, she isn't allowed to cross her legs. The Queen must keep her knees together while tilting her legs to the sides. Hey, what's wrong? I'm sick of your comments about my weight. I'm leaving you. But what about our child? What child? So you're not pregnant? 3 things Disneyland doesn't want you to know. For a long time, there's been a rumor that some of the bones on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride are from real human skeletons. In 2014, a writer asked an employee about the rumor as he was getting off the ride, and she said the skeleton sitting above the bed in the treasure room contains a real human skull. Underneath Disneyland, there's a massive system of underground tunnels. One of the purposes for the tunnels is to keep the magic alive by hiding the characters when they're not supposed to be seen. Emergency vehicles also use the tunnels to get to their patient while trying to be unseen by the public so they don't kill the vibe. Disneyland strategically releases a vanilla scent through smellitizers which look like speakers. They do this because the scent is proven to calm people down, and it also makes them hungry so they'll spend more money on food. At the main entrance, they use the smell of popcorn. The Haunted Mansion is made to smell musty, and at the Pirates of the Caribbean, they release the scents of wet wood and sea salt. How much do the potatoes cost? $2 each. And the bag? The bag's free. Okay, give me the bag. What to do if someone's following you on the street? First, start to walk faster, then make 4 right turns in a row. You'll now be in the same spot you started off, and if they're still behind you, then that confirms that they're actually following you. Whatever you do, don't go home, because then they will know where you live. If someone's walking towards you, start talking to them like they're your friend. Tell them someone's following you and ask if they could walk with you to a more public street until you find another way home. Before I tell you what to do if there's no one on the street to help you, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike. Just press this button on my profile to try it and comment who you get. Remove your jacket and put your hair down so it's harder for them to grab you. Then pretend you forgot something by patting your pockets and say, I forgot my wallet. After you say that, start walking faster in the opposite direction to a busy street. They won't follow you into a busy street and probably won't run after someone who doesn't have their wallet. Hey Mom, what was that loud noise outside? There's a big storm outside and it's raining really hard. Can you close all the windows? Yeah, sure. 10 mind-blowing examples of the Mandela effect. The Monopoly Man never had a molecule on his eye. The monkey Curious George never had a tail. The end of Pikachu's tail was never black. Jiffy's peanut butter was never a thing, it's just Jif. One of C-3PO's legs is actually silver. Double stuffed Oreo cookies are spelled with 1 F. The word fruit in Fruit Loops was never spelled with 2 O's. The Flintstones is actually spelled with 2 T's. The Bernstein Bears is actually the Berenstain Bears. And finally, there's never been a hyphen in between the word Kit Kat. Officer, I need your help. What is it, ma'am? Yesterday my husband went to the grocery store to buy potatoes, but he hasn't come home yet. Then why don't you cook something else? Here's the dumbest things bought by billionaires. Saudi Prince Amir bought a Mercedes covered in 300,000 diamonds. It took 13 experts 2 weeks to attach them and it cost $4.8 million. Data Fugue bought a shirt made entirely out of gold. It has over 14,000 pieces of 22 karat gold weighing 7 pounds. And it cost him $250,000. Finally, Kanye West spent just under $1 million on 4 gold-plated toilets for his mansion. All these people on Instagram are rich. Do you want to know how to make lots of money on Instagram? Yeah, of course! It's really easy. Really? How? Please tell me. Go to your account settings, deactivate your account, and get a job. That bully stole my girlfriend's number. Really? What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. The idiot's sending romantic messages to his sister. I've called you like 10 times. Why haven't you been answering? I can explain. Then explain. I like my ringtone. 5 illegal things you've done before. Using a fake name online, whether it's for Instagram, an online game, or a survey. You could be charged for the federal crime of hacking, which is 5 to 20 years in prison. Watching movies on free websites. Unless it's a paid service like Netflix, most free websites won't have a license to the show or movie. Connecting to a public Wi-Fi. If you've connected to an unprotected Wi-Fi that isn't a restaurant, then it's illegal because you're using a service that someone else is paying for. Using social media when you're underage. To use apps like Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube, you legally have to be 13 or older. And for WhatsApp, you have to be 16 or older. Finally, sharing subscription passwords with friends. In 2016, a law was made that you need permission from the website before sharing your password or else it's illegal. Five advertising tricks they don't want you to know. In commercials, they place cardboard in between each pancake to make them look better. And because syrup absorbs quickly, they use engine oil. Ice cream melts quickly under hot studio lights, so instead they use colored mashed potatoes. In commercials for milk, coffee, and beer, they add a liquid soap. It creates a stable foam that looks more appealing. Unlike whipped cream, shaving cream doesn't melt, so they use it on desserts in commercials and movies. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this addicting new shooter game. There's tons of weapons to collect, a bunch of different heroes to unlock, and insane boss fights. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, cereal quickly soaks into milk and sinks to the bottom. So they replace the milk with glue so the cereal stays on top and doesn't get soggy. What happened? Why are you so sad? My girlfriend broke up with me. How come? It's all because of you. What? How? You told me to get her a chain for her birthday. Did you give her one with fake gold? No, I gave her a bicycle chain. Here's what would happen if Earth lost gravity for 5 seconds. Everything would become weightless and nothing would be held in place. But instead of floating in air like you were in space, you would be like a fast-moving tumbleweed. Not just humans, but everything including buildings, vehicles, trees, and water. This is because the Earth would still be spinning, unlike if you were in space. The Earth's atmosphere would also disappear, resulting in a drastic change in air pressure causing everyone's eardrums to rupture. And lastly, without an atmosphere, there would be no oxygen on Earth. Things that are bigger than you thought. Here's how big a traffic light is compared to a human. Here's a polar bear's paw compared to a human hand. Traffic signs are actually really big. Here's a regular sized moose compared to vehicles. Here's how big the Titanic is compared to a modern cruise ship. Here's how big a tornado is compared to a wind turbine. And here's how big the blade of a wind turbine is compared to a human.